Okay guys, so this is a typical bathroom shower arrangement in Panama. Their bathrooms are very, very small compared to our bathrooms, even in the nicest places. This, as you saw, this is a very nice place. There is no bathtub in these units. This is it. Shower. Get in there, take a shower. So I want to kind of show you, but these things always never work in Panama, so they're always kind of a bear to deal with. Bring you guys a little closer so you guys can. So they don't have fans. They don't put fans in there. When instead what they have, even I'm on the 18th floor, but I've got a window right here that. Sorry. A window right here that opens up right, if I turn this and that. So this is closed and that's open, and it kind of lets a little fresh area. But they don't use the fans here. They only use, and I like that because you get nice daylight coming in every unit. Okay, so now on hot water. Okay, so the way it works here is that the hot water comes from anyways, you guys get it, but it's just funky here. Everything's funky. Oh, why am I documenting this? Because everyone always takes videos of all the tourist sites and all the places they go. But no one ever takes the videos of the parking lot, of the billboards that you see, or of the bathrooms, and that's kind of like what I find more interesting is like, when I go to a place, I find the color of the doorknobs interesting. The tourist spaces usually are just kind of, that's cool, but usually what I find myself doing is just kind of looking at stuff I've seen a million times by other people, which is all awesome. All fun to get our version of it, like you've seen our version of Vegas. We did a couple years there. And this is great. This is what I love about the Apple Watch. Look at that. You can use it in the bath. Of course, as soon as I show it off. I'm able to watch what you guys are seeing while I'm in the shower here. So that's pretty slick. Jedi Rich says these shower vlogs are boring. I find them, because I do a lot of meditation in them. Okay. So we get these on eBay, and this is organic lather soap, and then this razor we always got at Amazon. They don't have the Power Fusions here, so they have the yellow blades, but they don't got the orange ones. So we lather that up. So, hey, Gillette, these are the best. I've used these for 20 or maybe even 30 years now. Love them. But I don't like the yellow one. I don't like the yellow, I like the orange. Well, I mean, I prefer the orange instead. Okay. We've got the shade done. Now when I use the bathtub for the sides, you know, your daily hygiene, your showering and stuff. What I like to do too is I like to come over here and I like to stretch out in the shower now. Okay. So, get down here like this. And first thing I like to do is I like to get my knees stretched out. I'm doing kind of a lot of yoga in here while I'm in the shower. Judge Joy doesn't ever understand what I'm doing, you know, but I'm stretching my ankles right now, stretching my knees. You know, I mean, I would normally do this in a bathtub, but this is actually better for what I'm doing right now in a shower. In a bathtub, I'm more massaging myself. So I found this to be very, very helpful. Let me get a little light on the situation. Okay. Now, so I got a couple of injuries here. You guys remember from when I fell in that grate, and then also I've been nursing a swollen ankle from when I kicked the crock pot. Did I tell you guys that? A couple weeks ago, I got really mad and I kicked the crock pot, and it hurt my ankle. I've been limping all for like 2 weeks. Okay. So now I got that stretch. Get your joints stretched out. Like right now I'm getting my ankle stretched out. Getting these little granules in there. You can feel little lipid cells in there. Pop them. Get them out of here. Grind them out of here. This is the tool I use from Amazon. And it's a little jade tool. And I use it to kind of scrape the stuff in my joints and off my bones and pop these little cells, just kind of like massage. I don't know, what do you want to call it? Acupressure, puncture, whatever. I'm a little injured today, so this is taking nerve hurts about. Okay. So I get my ribs and my hips. From sitting in the office for 20 years, working in offices, what happened is that I ate at the desk a lot. And when I ate at the desk a lot, I'd eat my food there, and then the food would kind of settle on into my hips. I get fat right in these areas. And I could feel it. So Doing my feet now. Meanwhile, I'm getting ready for breakfast. I hope that fish is still good for I bought it last night. And after breakfast, we're gonna go score some weed. And then we're gonna go to the grocery store and get some ground beef, maybe even some more fish. I like that trout. And that's the plans for the day. We'll come back here and then probably do some editing and film some videos, and that's what we do. That's what it is. That's what we do. And you know, whatever comes to mind. For us, optimize, release, set up all my needs and all my desires and wishes, and just deal with it. And I don't even know what I want. So what I do is I just turn all of my wishes and desires over to my feelings. I let my feeling determine, and say what they need to say, or whatever, however they do. I don't even understand exactly. So this is what happened. This is a man living alone, a 52-year-old man living alone. This is what I do. This is what a 52-year-old man on planet Earth does. You know, sustain himself. Now, other guys are still trying to gather pebbles, trying to trade baseball cards. You know, they're 52 years old. I don't know how long they think they're going to live. See, my dad told me something, and he was a CFO. He was an accountant. His dad was a banker. He was a Republican. Well, not when he died, but for most of his life. My point is, he was very conservative in everything he did. So he followed the rules. He owned a hardware store. But between the internet scams and the stock market crashing and the bank scandals and the real estate scams, everything he acquired was lost. And so he told me, just before he died, he said, and this was weird coming from him, he said, "Hey Rich, you can play by the rules, but it won't make a difference." I wasn't sure what he meant by that, but I think what he was saying is that, hey man, if you can't win, cheat to win. If you get caught in trouble, they're gonna take it away or put you in jail, whatever, but it wouldn't matter because you would never win anyways. So you might as well try to cheat, because if you don't, you're not gonna win. You might think you will. My point is that my friends think they're winning because they have, the stock market's up. Maybe they've got a house and their kids are kind of like, getting ready for college or whatever, or maybe not even, maybe high school. So my friends all, I don't know why they had kids late. They didn't want to have kids. All of a sudden, they just started, everybody got real conservative. Every last one of them had kids. I'm the only one that didn't. And I was the first one that wanted them. It's a weird thing. I was the first one I was so square at 25. I was sober. I didn't drink anything. I ate a lot of sugar. But I worked at a bank. I saved my money. I owned a house. I was the first one to own a house. I had a steady girlfriend. I was always, but then things just changed. Hard to I can go into it, but I'm not going to go in here. And so I did all that, and then at 33, I was in New York City. I said, "Fuck it, man." This is before my dad told me to but I said, "Fuck it." If I don't start living now, I'm not going to draw myself. So I started to draw myself. So at 33, that's when I started partying. That's when I started going out all night. That's when I started doing stuff. And everybody else started settling down. They'd been doing that for 10 years. But I said, why would I do it between ages of 22 and 32? I have zero money. I said to myself, I'm going to work from 22 to 32 and make sure I have a lot of money and then go do those things. And I did. And that's what I did for 10 years. the point I'm making is not to brag about anything. The point is that I blew through my money. Now, if a smart person were to do what I did and had a plan, see, I didn't know what I was doing, but let's say if you're listening, well, I would say, what I'm trying to say is that at 33, I could have stopped working and I'd be in Panama for 20 years. And, smartly still, I probably would have done something smart with the money. Because, just where I'm at now in this space, I understand this better. Back then, I didn't know, I didn't have any other option. I didn't know anything else, I'll go into that later. But really, what I'm trying to say is that a lot of you can just stop working right now. 32, 42, 52, 62, what age? Because my dad died at 67 was his point. You see? What if he stopped? Good thing he stopped working at 42. Good thing he quit. See, he quit at 42. And bought a hardware store. So that's what he did. So this is what I do here. So we're getting this, and that, and that, and that. Now, we're going to go over here. We're going to use the hair reconstructor. This is what I like to use. It's a product, it's from Giovanni. It actually, this is great. When I color my hair, this really smooths it back out. But in general, I don't know what's in it, but it has got magic stuff in there or something. So, it's called Hair Reconstructor Nutrifix from Giovanni. Add chic hair. Quite honestly, the only reason I'm reading that stuff is because I don't usually read that stuff. I just use it. And Jedi Joy's kind of been, over the years, have shopped it and we said, oh yeah, I like that stuff. She always asks me. Okay, hold on, guys. I got coming in. Let me get my hair waved in a little bit. Cold water. So make sure you get it all in there. Real good, like. Receiving instructions. I listen to the water. The water talks to my brain, and my brain interprets it like sounds. And it calms me down. It kind of gives me, it's like looking in the stars, Gives me direction. It's hard to explain, but that's just the way I am. I'm just telling you. Just telling you how I am. So see, I'm still on my knees here, right? So that's kind of working my muscles. And now I'm scraping my hips while I'm doing my hair. So you kind of overlap things, you know what I mean? You kind of, I like to call it multi-threading. Like I run one thread here on doing this, and I forget about it, and I start doing this thread over here. I'm doing my hair. Meanwhile, I'm on my knees, which I already forgot about. That's like my core system there. Oh man, that feels good. So let's let that sit for a minute. I got Yeah, I'm still massaging myself, guys, so kind of bear with me here. So here's where I hurt my shin. Right there. That's where when I fell in that grate. In Panama, they don't have any protection laws. In other words, you can't sue anybody. Like, ever. Which is, on one hand, it's cool. For example, we have windows in a high-rise. That's really nice. Really nice. But on the other hand, you're thinking to yourself, shit, man. What if I fucking fell out of this thing? Or worse yet, what if I dropped my phone and hit someone on their head? And killed them or something. All these other things that could happen. That would only happen like once in a million year, you know, an anomaly. But then once it happens, the United States would pass a law because it's litigious. So as soon as someone was taking a picture and dropped their camera and hit someone on their head, there would no longer ever again, you ever have windows. Because that place would get sued, and then every company said, oh, I'm not going to take that risk. No fucking open windows. And over year after year after year, think about it. If you keep using that methodology for establishing laws, what's going to happen? Because eventually anything that could happen is going to happen. So you start having all sorts of really just, the point is they need to back off the law. They need to back off the cops. They need to back off. Because in other countries, it's not nearly, cops aren't nearly as strong, but they're much more oppressed. It's so weird. It's like here, everyone's really oppressed, but the cops just kind of like, they're not like they are in the States where you're like afraid of them. And you should be afraid of them here. You're not, there's nothing the cops can really do to you in the States, but no one really likes talking to a cop, I don't think. And that's a problem. The idea that you can just go to schools and tell kids that cops are heroes and that they should respect them, that's over. You can't do that anymore. Because all the kids have access to information and phones, and they know more about what's going on than you do. And so when you come in and you try to bullshit them some stuff like, oh, cops are heroes, man, that's going to fly right back in your face hard. Because you know what happens when a kid picks up that you're lying to them. Everything you say after that, it wouldn't matter if, it wouldn't matter what you said after that. They're just like, okay. Kids aren't dumb. So, okay, that's about long enough time for this hair restorer in my hair. So now I'm going to rinse it out. I think my watch goes in the shutdown mode because it's in the shower, and that's fine. It's for my protection. It's an Apple Watch 3, and it already got damaged. The first time I took it was cool, so I'm not really worried about it now. I mean, I'm going to get another one. If someone wants to donate me one, that'd be great. Well, an Apple Watch 5, though. I mean, I might as well be specific. They have Apple Watch 6 is my point. I don't need a 6. Those are expensive. Apple Watches 5s are, I get them under $300, under $400. Perfect gift for a Jedi. I'm gonna try to get Apple to give me one, but I doubt they will. Okay, so rinse the hair time. And I do this every day. And I sit here and I stretch out Well, when I do it, I mean when I shower, I don't shower every day, not because, okay, I do this every day, but I don't do this every day. I do this every day, but my days aren't necessarily one revolution. Clear out the chambers there. Oh, cow. Oh, that felt great. Thank you, Satan. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, universe. Thank you for everything. Today is definitely the most bitching day in the universe. I hope this thing, is this on? I don't know how many times I've done it that it's not on. Or like I took it off by accident. Okay. Again, we're working the knees. What I'm feeling for, guys, is I'm feeling for little bubbles. Little like lipid cells. And I'm just compressing them. They hurt like the dickens. And if you get them just right, you'll find that they are attached to your nerves. They send all sorts of signals to all sorts of part of your body. And what I think that is that inside your fat cells lives an organism. I mean, I know that. But I don't think it's the organism they think it is. They think it's Candida. I think it's maybe a strain of Candida, but this particular one that lives in your fat cells, that's not my theory, that's a fact that you can look up. But my theory is this, that those Candida, because they're organisms, they're fungus, and they have, it's like a toe fungus, but these guys are inside your body. And they can attach themselves to your nerve system. So your nerve system is your communication linked directly to your brain. So my theory is this, is that they get in your fat cells and they love sugar. They live on sugar. And what they do is they send signals to your brain asking for more sugar. And you think you're hungry for more sugar, but you're not. It's that situation when you've ever had that feeling when you think, man, I'm hungry, but nothing looks good, and it's just, it's a Candida. That's what I think. I think it's sending a signal to your brain saying, hey man, give me some more sugar. And when your brain and body's like, I don't need anything. I'm doing great. And so, but your brain keeps getting this weird signal. And I think after time, if you react to that, then you train your brain just like you condition anything. If your brain's conditionable like Pavlov's dog, if you react to those thoughts, then your brain thinks that that's what that is. So that's my theory there. So that's why I want those Candida down. Now, another, maybe they have to be inside us. Maybe they're all part, maybe it's all part of us. And it's the overgrowth that's the problem. Like, as when they're the right size, they're just fine. Like just like anybody, like a guest in your house. In fact, they're usually really nice. They come for the first week or so. But man, when they start bringing their friends and boyfriends and girlfriends and kids and moving in, and you start needing more, it's like then you're like, man, those aren't the kind of friends you want. But then you get them out one-on-one, and you're like, oh man, you're so cool. I don't know why. Right, so I'm saying, don't be giving your friend a bunch of sugar, because when he gets the sugar, he wants to throw a party, invite all his family members, and then they start having kids. And the next thing you know, you got to be feeding them tons of sugar all day long. And meanwhile, the byproducts of your eating sugar is getting fat. They just get energy from it. And bigger. They don't mind getting bigger. Okay. Now, and this is not an unusually long shower for me, just so you guys know. This is about par for the course. So I don't know if you guys heard any of that. I think mostly this is just, for my own personal blogging, so I can look back at it later or just know that I have it out there. I don't know if you hear it because of the shower, but basically what I was saying was, that inside your fat cells, there exists an organism that craves more fat and sugar. And its goal is to get bigger. And when you eat more sugar and you fuel it, you get bigger. And the reason why you crave sugar and fat is because this organism inside your fat lipid cells has attached itself not only to your bones, but also to your nerves, making it very painful to remove. But more importantly, they're sending signals to your brain to tell you to eat more sugar and salt when you don't really want that. But you think you do. And that's an addiction. That is the addiction. That's what addiction is. That is all addictions. Well, at least for alcohol and sugar. We'll leave it at that. Because that candida, you bring it down to size, and you won't crave it no more. Just ask an alcoholic. They don't drink alcohol. They don't crave it. They have one drop. Shit. They're off to the races. It's like the signals go crazy in their brain. They can't control it. Those are the same, I don't know if the same, but the same concept of the candida organism I'm talking about with the fat sugar cells. You crave sugar. They crave alcohol. Now what connected the dots for me on that was when an alcoholic gets sober, and it even says it in their own manual. It says for them somewhere I was reading, and it said, hey, if you get an alcohol craving, grab yourself a candy bar. In fact, don't grab yourself. They said literally walk around with a chocolate bar in your pocket in case of an alcohol emergency. If you feel like going for a drink, eat the chocolate, and that will subside their cravings. I was like, how could that be? That's weird. But I put it together. Think about it. It's the same mechanism that I'm talking about with the candida and the sugar. So it attaches to the nerves, sends signals, give me more sugar for fat people. For alcoholics, it says give me more alcohol. At least that's how their brain interprets it. Once you cut out the alcohol, they say give them sugar. And they're fine with that, and that's what's happened. Since the 90s, everyone's gotten sober, but now they're all eating tons of sugar. In fact, in the Obama administration, Michelle Obama's whole platform was get up and move. Geez, do something. Stop sitting around. Everyone's getting so damn fat. But it wasn't their fault, is what she didn't realize, is that they were addicted to sugar. And Michelle Obama was perplexed. How could this be? How could this be? How could everybody be so fat? I'm trying to give them exercise techniques. Well, she was eating the same thing that her husband was eating. And her husband was skinny as a rail. Now how do you explain that? How is Barack Obama so skinny? Well, I'll tell you. Barack Obama is bulimic. 100%. Only the evidence is this. Look at his kids and look at his wife. They all eat the same food. He just doesn't tell them he's vomiting. And they're not. They're standing up and moving. They're trying to run it off. But there's no way to run off the kind of calories that you're consuming if you're bulimic. That's why everyone's getting fatter and fatter and fatter. So the sugar addiction is taking over the alcohol addiction. So instead of drunks in the office, you've got bulimics in the office. So the issue is this: sugar causes cancer, makes you depressed, irritable, and will certainly cloud your vision. Okay, enough of that. Is this thing even on? I don't even know if this is on, because this thing keeps going off on me. So, okay, I'm gonna rinse my hair now. Yeah, sorry guys, I get real passionate about that bulimia stuff because, oh man, I guess that's why you guys are watching the raw stuff. As I get this stuff out and as we talk about it more, I won't be so angry about it. I guess I'm angry because I feel like people have been lying. Like, you know, when you're telling people to go work out, but you're vomiting your food. And today what we have is more of that. This is the body wash we use here, and then we use this bar soap here as well. All right, next up is what? Right, we're gonna do a little conditioner here. So, this conditioner we get here in Panama, Tresemme. There's an abundance of water in Panama, but I just believe in practicing conservation just in general. It when possible, you know. I don't want to make it uncomfortable, not necessary. Smells really good, this conditioner. Okay. Got it in there. Now, rinse. Ow. Hot. So, oh man. Whew. So the idea is this. The candida, the fungus inside of you, is what's created your addiction for alcohol and sugar. And sugar creates an addiction for caffeine and cocaine. So so it's all kind of connected. But the core of it is your diet. That is what's causing your addiction. Further, cancer feeds off the sugar cells. You're like, what? Wait, hold on, what? Cancer feeds off sugar. And you're like, well, everything eats, all your cells eat sugar. Yes, but the cancer cells eat 200 times a normal cell. 200 times the amount of a normal cell. That's a very different organism. And that requires a lot more sugar. So people that eat a lot of sugar are fueled. All that excess sugar is feeding your cancer. But if you give your body the proper amount of sugar, then your cells will use it. There won't be all this excess sugar to feed your cancer. Okay, well that's the bathroom blog for today, guys. Hey, thanks for watching. Sorry, I got a little itch here. And please subscribe or follow or join us on our website, JediRich.com. There you'll find all of our social media channels. We're on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. So check us out. Oh, let's see if this thing's still working. I'm mad at my Apple Watch right now, you know that.